Why anime hurts to watch.
I have a confession to make. So I know this might come as a shock to a lot of you, but statistically and undeniably, I am what the kids call an old man. In these long 27 years I've been on Earth, I've seen a lot of things and done a lot of things. And because I didn't make a lot of friends in middle school, a lot of that time in the 27 years was spent on the internet. I was there for the Badger song. I was there for Homestar Runner. I was there for the cringiest of rage comics. If I started putting lay in front of sentences, you guys would have no clue.
Bro, y'all remember iFunny, dude? Two of my friends still use that. And I didn't know about it for like years. I had iFunny years ago, bro. And one of my friends sent me a meme and it had the iFunny like attachment. I was like, you still use iFunny? He was like, yeah, dude. He said it's getting bad now though. It's just like porn and I was like, I didn't even know. I thought they shut that down years ago. I had iFunny during Vine. I had iFunny in like when I was like 11 in like 2013 is when I had Vine.
Out loud at the high school lunch table made you a social pariah. That shit was not cool. Suddenly, internet things were cool in a mainstream way. And I was happy for—
Bro, I was around for the time where, oh God, this is just sounding like I was in high school 2016 to 2020 and college 2020 to 2024, right? This year. Sophomore year, I got a PC when I started streaming. I was around for the era where PCs went from being nerdy cringe to being like what you would get if you wanted to play video games. Like, if you want to play video games now, you're probably going to get a PC, right? Maybe an Xbox or PlayStation if you're already locked into that. But like at the end of the day, somebody that's like a gamer wants to play PCs, like I remember literally sophomore year, 2018, 2019, walking around and my friend being like, yeah, you should get a PC. And me just going, that's fucking cringe. No. And just like literally walking away. Like it just being stupid. That and anime. Like anime started getting popular when I was in high school.
Be myself without people making fun of me, except for one singular—
One Piece is peak fiction. No, I was going to say why anime hurts to watch. My answer to that would be series that are 1,200 episodes. And here's the problem. I'm watching AOT right now, Attack on Titan. Arguably one of the best animes ever made. Here's the problem with AOT, though. I start the episode. Keep in mind, the whole episode is around 22 minutes, 23 minutes. I start the episode. The first minute's a recap. The next 2 minutes are the intro. So 3 minutes in, the show starts. And then the show goes, right? And it does a little bit more of a recap. And then it starts, right? Around 3.5 minutes in. You see that fucking fly flying around my goddamn head? 3.5 minutes. I skip the intro, right? It starts. It's going. It's going. It stops at around 18 minutes. And then there's a massive outro and the sneak peek for the next episode. So when I'm watching an episode of AOT, it is a 23-minute episode. In reality, it's fucking 14 minutes. I'm watching a Smiling Friends episode. I'm watching a short film. Why the fuck? And they do it to elongate how many episodes there are. Fuck off with that shit. Why do animes do that? Just fucking start the episode. Maybe do a minute recap. Let's slow down the intro down. You know, cut that down a little bit. And then get rid of the fucking sneak peek for next episode. I don't fucking need that shit.
Word anime slowly became one of the most well-respected art forms in the American hearts. That is hard for me. That is hard for me to wrap my head around. It's not like I don't like cartoons. I specifically love cartoons. I'm wearing a Gromit shirt right now.
I quit MHA because it got too cringe. And I somehow got through 6 seasons. I quit MHA because it got too cringe. The fights were unbearable. It was so annoying. Every small thing was as if it was the end of the world. And most of the things that he actually did deal with were the end of the world. Any normal human would just give up. If every single day you were fighting world-ending domination for years on end, at one point you would just be blow the earth up. I no longer care.
I only consume cartoons. That's my vibe. The guy who corners you at a house party and tells you that Smiling Friends is going to change the face of adult.
Smiling Friends would change your life, though. Smiling Friends is a great show. I wouldn't even say that. Are we going Japanese anime here or just animation in general? Because Smiling Friends is life-changing.
Animation. Something about anime, dude. It's just not clicking with me. Maybe it's because I was born in a post-9/11 society, and if it's not American, it's not good enough for me. And that's not correct. I love Lynch chocolate. And the last thing I want to do is yuck anyone's yum, okay? This isn't gonna be a point and laugh, make fun of the kid who buys a body pillow at a convention type video. I hope not. I kind of lose track during this script. But what I'm trying to do in this video is to preemptively defend myself against the heat I'm gonna get when people realize that I actually don't like whatever the hell this is. So my sweet little tuglets, please be gentle with me while I state my case that anime at the very least is a hard watch for somebody like
Bro, and you know what? I'm like, yo, this is starting to, I'm getting fucking mad right now. Name like a very niche anime. This is another thing that I fucking hate about anime, dude. I love anime because I watch I'll watch animes, but I also hate it at the same time because it'll be like my friend just bitching at me to start watching an anime nonstop, right? And then I'll fucking start it and he'll be like, oh, you started AOT? Do you want to talk about it? Actually, I started this new one called Shirobako. You should fucking start that one up right now. Dude, the fucking world development and the fucking fight scenes are actually fucking crazy. At the end of the day, you should also start this one. It's called Yuri on Ice. It's actually really fucking good. Oh, have you ever watched Hazuki's Cool-Headedness? Actually, that's a really good one. Oh, Tsuritama? Oh, you should watch that one. Oh, like, fuck. And I'm like, dude, shut up. Shut up. Let me get through a fucking show, and then you can recommend another one. It's like just word vomit. That's the one thing. I love my friend, bro. But it's like he's so involved in anime that he'll be like, I'm like, oh, I need a new anime to watch. Oh my, yo, that's like him seeing the Holy Grail. He's like fucking that. He's like Gollum from Lord of the Rings. Holding the ring. The second I tell him I need a new anime to watch, it's just like, this is the best day of his life. And he needs to fucking word vomit 75 animes and their base summaries to me when I could not give a fuck.
Of anime memes and enjoyers, and they just need someone to hold on to as the ship
Oh god, it's so annoying.
sinks, and you can hold on to me because I also don't understand what's going on anymore. And it's so crazy because I've said some wild stuff on this channel, but I'm so confident this is the video that's gonna push the fan base over the edge and start hating me. I've already bought the sheet, so I might as well make the bed, but fuck. So let's start with a brief history. In Japan, anime is just the word for animation. It's a lot of people don't understand that concept. It's just Japanese animation. The anime aesthetics Americans are most familiar with today was developed in the 1960s by Osamu.
Yo, but Japanese anime really pulls at the heartstrings, though. I will say they over-exaggerate a lot of emotional scenes in animes like MHA, but like AOT, spoiler, cover your ears. 5, 4, 3, 2. I'm going to talk for 5 seconds. Cover your ears. When Eren Yeager's mom gets fucking eaten and he's watching it, yo, I understand the fuel in that man's fucking heart where he's like, I'm gonna fucking kill everyone. When he's like, he watches his mom get murdered.
Tezuka in his series Astro Boy. Although a lot of Americans don't know anything about the show, everyone can identify this little dude, and they might not know.
You spoiled it? That happens in episode 1, bro.
His name, but at least he has some staying power. Astro Boy was syndicated in the US on NBC from.
What the fuck is Astro Boy?
Can identify this little dude, and they might not know his name, but at least he has some staying power. Astro Boy was syndicated in the US on NBC from 1963 to 1965, and even though we didn't call it anime at the time, this was the entry point into American culture. When the VHS came along, important videos like Akira started getting cult classic status, paving the way for the explosion of anime.
Dude, my uncle will rant and rave about Akira. You ever a family member that's like anime guy before anime guys? You ever have like an uncle that's like he was into anime just like somebody that was into tattoos back when they used to like think you were like a fucking neo-Nazi. Like it was absurd to be into anime like it used to be absurd to be into like tattoos.
In Akira, the Akira slide happens, and that piece of cinematography has been parodied or referenced about 1 million times in every American animated show. So just thought that was worth mentioning. I don't like anime, but that's a cool fact.
I haven't seen any of them. I know Akira's supposed to be really good, though.
In 1997, Cartoon Network's Toonami programming block really fucking brought anime into the American mainstream, introducing young kids like me, but not me, to shows like Sailor Moon, Dragon Ball Z, and Gundam Wing. And I know in a prior video I've already touched on this programming block, but it's hard to understate just how important Toonami was for the culture. Folks love to glaze on about the golden age of 2000s era television, when shows like The Sopranos, The Wire, Mad Men, and Breaking Bad elevated the form of television. But anime's
Bro, I wish... Like, I'm happy I was born when I was born, but I wish I was around and old enough to watch Breaking Bad when it was actively airing on TV. Like, you know how fucking crazy that is to watch Breaking Bad in its prime and then go to class the next day and probably talk to your friends about, like, dude, do you see what fucking Walter White just did?
Introduction to Western mainstream culture did the same thing for young viewers. Instead of the fast-paced, ADD-inducing standalone episodes of shows like Ed, Ed and Eddie or the Powerpuff Girls, anime offered more in-depth storytelling and character development. You'd actually have to pay attention to
Bro, Ed, Ed and Eddie was fire, though. Ed, Ed and Eddie.
figure out what the hell is going on. Even anime for younger audiences had continuity and richness that was not present in American cartoons. Whatever. And it seemed to
I would watch Ed, Ed and Eddie right now.
inspire modern cartoons into having through lines like Adventure Time and Fiona and Cake. That was so goddamn good. Make more Fiona and Cake. But so much of the anime that was celebrated in the 90s and the early 2000s was kid-focused. For example, Pokemon was everywhere, is still everywhere. It basically took over the world of anime, video games, and tabletop gaming all at once. It honestly got to the point where I feel like a lot of people forget that Pokemon started as an anime itself. Most people think it's a video game or just a silly introduction to a gambling addict. And
Wait, Pokemon started as an anime first? I thought it started as a game, then an anime.
Success of Pokemon meant we were inundated with more potential
Like a trading game.
profit drivers like Digimon and Yu-Gi-Oh! And I don't remember Digimon at all except for the
Yeah? When did the first season of Pokemon come out? 1997? There's 20 seasons.
immediately oversaturated with this kind of shit. And at that young age, I was more interested in sneaking into the living room when my parents were watching TV and seeing things like South Park and The Simpsons. I wasn't interested in children cartoons, especially anime cartoons. So I didn't have the wherewithal.
Yo, The Simpsons sucks, though. I'm sorry. I know. It's one. I think it's like the longest running animated show. It's not good. There's a million better shows. Family Guy's better. American Dad's better. South Park's better. Futurama's better. Right? They're like, I know it's like a long running show, but it's like, who the fuck's tuning in to season 43 of The Simpsons? Ooh, what's Bart doing today? I could not give a fuck what Bart Simpson is doing today. Right? I know it's a joke, and like Bart said, it's just not good. I don't know. Like it's a satisfying show. Like I'm not going to sit here and say if I'm bored, The Simpsons wouldn't entertain me, but there's just better options.
Just because I didn't want it didn't mean Americans wanted to stop consuming it, because there is a fucking anime for every day of the year. Even though American marketing teams might spend their resources promoting merchandise-friendly kid shows, there are actually a ton of anime genres. Hard to know where to start. As someone who doesn't watch anime, this is a big barrier to entry. I was able to break anime down into 5 categories that correlate with its intended demographics. And once again, I want you to know that I didn't know anything about anime before this video, and I just had to do research so the video made sense. I do not give a shit about anime. I want to make that clear. Hey, you want to see something crazy? Type in your full
I gotta pass.
First, we got Komodo, which is for real young viewers, like generally under 12 years old. Then we got shonen animes, which is aimed at teenage boys with shows like Dragon Ball Z, like that kind of anime. And shonens have a counterpart called shoujo, which is aimed at teenage girls with shows like Sailor Moon. And then we have seinen and josei. I'm trying here. They're aimed at adult men and women respectively. But then you have like the genre of the show itself. You have the mech shows, which are like giant robot shows where people climb into giant robots and fight things. A category of anime which shocks me, because how many stories can you write about climbing into robots and fighting people? I feel like that well would run.
How many robot shows could you do? Power Rangers, Real Steel, Transformers. Chat, name more robot shows. That's about it. Evangelion, whatever the fuck that is. Voltron, Pacific Rim, SpongeBob, if you're counting that one episode where there's like plankton inside SpongeBob's brain.
Dry. Oh my god, is Attack on Titan a mecha anime? Oh my god, that makes... Oh, I guess there's a lot of avenues they can go down with that.
Wait, Attack on Titan counts as a robot anime?
I've watched one anime, and it's Attack on Titan. I want to make that clear. It's the only one I've ever watched. My roommate made me watch it. It was pretty good, but whatever. Then we have Spokon, specifically sport-focused anime. It's usually like a comedy
What's the most popular anime right now?
coming-of-age story, like high schoolers playing volleyball. A lot of volleyball going on in Japan. I didn't know about that. And then there's hyper-specific genres, like this one, Isekai.
Yeah, I don't understand. One of my friends tried to get me to watch a volleyball anime, and I was like, how the fuck is this entertaining? You're telling me I'm supposed to watch an entire fucking 6-season show on volleyball?
And this is when characters die and then they are reincarnated into another world. And once again, that seems like a one-off plot, but there's so many of these motherfuckers and they keep making stories about people dying. These genres can blend into one another, they can parody themselves. It gets really blurred after a while, which leads to animes making fun of animes themselves, like JoJo Bizarre.
Yeah, isn't Mob Psycho and One Punch Man, what are they called? It's a category of anime that makes fun of anime.
Or Circus and whatever the fucking One Punch Man. At least that's what I think is happening.
One Punch Man has fire fight scenes, though.
In those shows. JoJo is a fucking clusterfuck to watch. It is
And I love One Punch Man, right? I love One Punch Man. Because if you're watching One Punch Man, you're watching that shit, and I know they're making season 3, and it's coming out soon, and I'm really hyped about it. But you watch Saitama, and he's locked in, right? And this guy's like, I'm gonna fucking kill you. And he starts fucking punching him. And it's like, you're like, oh shit. Oh shit. Oh my God, maybe he met his match. And then he dies. Like he explodes. And you're like, wow. And then they're like, how did you get this strong? I do 100 push-ups a day. 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, and I run 5 kilometers every day.
Assault on my senses. And then when a show is defined by its respective genre, we have the much bigger issue of the fact that a lot of these shows never end. They keep going. There's 1 million episodes per show. You know how like The Simpsons is still running?
10 kilometers, my bad.
Despite the fact that we all wished it ended after The Simpsons movie. Well, a lot of the best animes become long
Dude, literally it should have ended after The Simpsons movie.
Series to little to no critical outcry. Toonami may have introduced Gundam Wing to the American audiences, but the Gundam franchise has been around since 1979 and has spawned over 50 different TV shows. How? How are they doing that? And that's nothing compared to the slice of life show Sasa-san. Originally a comic strip, the anime has been on TV in Japan since 1969. It's the longest running
1969?
animated TV series in the world, featuring over 8,000
Was that 50, 51, 55 years?
episodes. And apparently it's like a weird blend of the Peanuts and Doctor Who. I don't know. I tried to watch one episode and I had no clue what was going on. And then you have a show like One Piece, which is a meme in itself for how fucking long that show is. So many people have told me I need to watch One Piece, and not only that, they tell me I have to watch the first 30 episodes before it gets interesting. What? Hey, let me give you a quick note to all
It doesn't get interesting. I've watched the first 30 episodes.
One Piece fans. If I have to watch 30 episodes of a show before it gets good, that kind of means it's...
Bro, I literally have a friend that says that to me too. He's like, bro, you just got to dedicate like the first 120 episodes and then it cooks.
Sometimes it feels like the only way to get into anime is to make it the biggest part of your personality. Because for fuck's sake, where are you guys finding all this time? Between Rocket League and anxiety-inducing Wikipedia rabbit holes, I do not have time to catch up on Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball GT, Dragon Ball Z Kai, Dragon Ball Super, Super Dragon Ball Heroes, and Dragon Ball Daikai.
Are those all different shows?
Whatever the fuck that last one is. Dragon Ball Rule 34. I don't have time to catch up on this shit. And it's not just a problem with anime. I mean, like I said, The Simpsons, and like we have, you know, Law and Order, which has been going on forever. But with those shows, you don't have to focus up. It's the same shit every week. You tune in, nothing changes. You don't have to look up the plot of the show, what happened in the 80s, to really understand what's happening nowadays. And
What's that one show that I made a TikTok about? And my grandma used to watch it. The Days of Our Lives. That's been on since 1965. There's 60 seasons. Days of Our Lives episode count. Chat, guess how many episodes there are of The Days of Our Lives? There's 14,400 episodes. And I think for a period of time, my grandma had watched every single episode.
Category of media that seems super fun and people are very passionate about. And then I'll ask a friend, hey, which anime should I start with? And God forbid they say something coherent. They'll give you
watching their pearls, literally.
A list of 20 shows that are worth watching. Half of them only have 1 season after 20 years, and the other half have 90 seasons, and you have to watch all the episodes to understand what's going on. Then you open up Crunchyroll, and on the main page, there's more animes on there than grains of sand at the beach. It's all just mentally taxing. It's a mentally taxing.
And it's impossible to know which one to pick.
Form of media. Oh, and speaking of mentally taxing, let's talk about the mental tax of horny shit being on my TV screen when my mom walks in the room. Now, I'm not talking about a word that my editor might need to bleep because I don't know how YouTube feels about me using that word. But when it comes to anime, the line between drawn porn and animated television is extremely blurry. Horny anime is a world unto itself. It might need a deeper video at one point. But anime is full of hype.
Well, even non-horny anime, they make horny. Who's that one teacher in MHA that they literally dress like a stripper? And she dresses in, like, tight fucking, like, black leather. Midnight? Yeah, dude. Like, this is a hero. This is a hero. This is a hero in the show, right? She's literally holding a whip. Like, whatever that is, bro, get the fuck out of here, dude. Stop. Like, but it's not even, it's not even like a horny anime. It's just like an anime. But they're just there.
Characters to an unbelievably uncomfortable extent. We're not talking tastefully sexy.
Yeah, Mount Lady too, bro. Half of them.
Tasteful has never been a before the war fan service. And it becomes incredibly problematic when you find out that the majority of these girl characters dance around with half their clothes on are 16 years old. They're all teenagers, and I don't know why we're not fucking talking about that. Oh, it's a different culture, Tucker. You just don't understand it, yada, yada, yada. Okay, how about if I said the word lolly? You got an argument for that, pimp? You gonna defend that? Because that's a real thing that shows up in anime sometimes without reason or warning. But it seems like giving an audience what they want sexually.
I've never seen an anime where that happens.
Without warning is a big part of anime. And that little expression of gratitude towards the audience is known as fan service, if I haven't made that clear enough. Basically, fan service is like halfway through the last season of Breaking Bad, suddenly Skylar was wearing a bikini all the time. It makes very little sense, but the fans like it. Fan service does not drive the plot forward. It's just eye candy for the audience. And I'm not judging people wanking it to drawings, but, you know. But somehow, fan service isn't even the most pervy part of anime. Like the show, I want you to make a disgusted face and show me your underwear. A real title. A real anime. We can go to Crunchyroll and fucking watch it. Of course, panties aren't the only weird.
Wait, the title of the show is I want you to make a disgusting face and show your underwear. Why is that? What is the plot? What is the plot of that show?
Weird fetish that animes deal with. In My Life as Inuka-san's Dog, the protagonist wakes up as a dog and is rescued by his crush. And for the rest of the series, he is simultaneously humiliated while being treated like a dog, while also being super turned on because he's hanging out with his crush. And for some reason, people don't blink an eye at this shit. They just let it pass.
But somebody watches that? Like, what is the production cost of those shows? You have a crush, you get turned into a dog. Your crush adopts you, and now you're just with her all the time. And there's probably some weird-ass fucking scenes, dude. Oh my god.
There's this show called Food Wars, Shiguk, whatever, which is about students at an elite culinary school that face off for cooking competitions. That sounds innocent enough, right? No, but every time they eat the food, they have orgasms. All of them had foodgasms. Look at this screenshot. What the fuck is going on? And I know I'm cherry.
Chat, it's not TOS. It's not TOS. This is a monetized YouTube video of a drawing.
Picking here. These are pretty extreme examples. Okay, I understand what I'm doing. But there's
it's like a Food Network Guy Fieri show, but every time somebody bites the food, they come.
Definitely little aspects of all this pervy shit sprinkled into anime. Every anime you see, they just fucking every once in a while an episode you just see tits, and I don't appreciate that. When I'm trying to watch anime for the first time and I'm watching just a normal scene and all of a sudden boobs are out and anime girls are moaning, my mom, doesn't matter where she is in the country, will walk into my room at that moment, and then the cycle continues because I can't watch anime anymore. Stop putting horny things in anime, for the love of Christ. And then there's the whole issue of anime being in a different language, which I should have started with that. That's a pretty...
I watch chat. Do you guys watch anime on dub or sub? Dub. I don't care if the voice acting's bad. I'm watching dub. I'm not reading the show. If they voice it, if it's only in sub, I'll watch it in sub.
Pretty big barrier to entry. Just like any niche interest, anime fans have some sort of infighting. And one of the biggest controversies in the community is sub versus dub debate, which, like most niche debates, is complicated and has no real correct answer, but yields deeply passionate opinions that spill over.
I think people that watch sub animes are more deeply ingrained into the anime culture that, like, you have to watch it how it was originally made. You know,
kind of like GIF versus GIF, and it is GIF. We're not gonna fight about this. I don't care what the creator of the file format said. He's a fucking idiot. But when it comes to the sub versus dub debate, there seems to be a little bit more merit on each side of the argument. Subtitled anime usually features translations that are more accurate to the original dialogue, and they're easier to produce, so you can stay on top of shows that are being released. But they can be distracting.
Yeah, that is true, because when they do dub, it changes what they're saying.
And take your focus away from the action because you're reading a book the entire time. I mean, I can't handle that. Even when I'm watching an American show, like if the subtitles are on, I just miss everything because I just end up watching the words.
Literally, I just read the show. I just read the show. If subtitles are on, I'm not watching the fucking show. Because if there's a fucking conversation going on where there's visuals, but it's in Japanese, and now there's fucking words on the fucking bottom of the screen, I just have to read it.
And on the dubbing side, English voice actors dub over the entire episode so you can really fully enjoy what you're watching. And you don't have to look away for a minute and fear that you're going to be missing pivotal exposition in the words on.
Dude, even if we were watching this with subtitles on, I would just be reading what he was saying. I would not be looking at his face.
The screen. However, most American voice actors record their lines separately in different recording booths. Whereas
you have peripheral vision. Yeah, would I rather watch a show when my fucking peripheral vision? That'd be like me going to a movie and here's the screen and I go like this. And my friend goes, "What the fuck are you doing?" "Oh, I'm just watching it in my peripherals." I think somebody just died. I don't know.
Japanese voice actors often record in the same room, which means that the original actors tend to give more cohesive, emotionally resonant performances, compared to the English voice acting, which I think we can all agree has an off vibe to it. However, I do want to note that I feel like the people who prefer sub over dub is for one very specific reason, and that reason is when you hear the Japanese dialogue in English, you realize how fucking unbelievably corny the dialogue is. I'm gonna talk about Attack on Titan once again because it's the only anime I've ever seen, but there's this scene where they're all in a castle and they're fighting a Titan, and a girl does something cool, and Reiner looks at her, and under his breath he goes, "Marry me." What the fuck is that?
Bro, that is actually so facts, though. Like, if you're watching it in sub, it's, like, not cringy, and then you turn it on dub, and they'll just say some shit that's like, what the fuck is the point? This is not the time.
I understand it's probably a translation thing, but that was so out of left field, it took me out of the entire scene. The main issue, the main barrier to entry to anime that I have is the anime noises. What is that? Why are they all making those weird
What, where they go, they're in a fight scene, they get a paper cut.
noises every time they swing their sword, every time they make eye contact with their crush, they let out a little what the fuck is that? I mean, it makes sense when fucking Link from Legend of Zelda is doing it. He doesn't talk, so he has to communicate through grunts. But why are these anime characters constantly making lobotomy-esque sounds with their mouths? It is confusing and distracting from what I'm trying to watch. And finally, for the last point in this video, I wanted to discuss the fact that anime is addictive. I've lost some pretty important people in my life to anime. Take, for example, my best friend, my soulmate, my roommate for 8 years, Connor Whitman. Connor was an A+ athlete all throughout high school, a strong athlete, and a straight arrow until I showed him what alcohol and weed was. He had such a bright future ahead of him until he discovered anime. The path anime takes to destroy your life is eerily similar to how hard drugs takes over your world. First, you start with an entry-level drug, like Cowboy Bebop or Death Note. Sure, there's definitely some strange cultural differences, but the plot is simple enough and the characters are engaging, so you enjoy the show. Then once you finish that one, you might as well look around at the other animes, because
what is Cowboy Bebop about?
It seems to be a pretty enjoyable format of media. Then you start watching that one. And then at the same time, why not watch 2 at once? Now you're watching 2. Now you're watching 3 at once. You start missing out on American media because you don't have time in your schedule. There's no time.
Just Cowboys?
Time slots open. It's all anime focused. Then you're watching 8 animes at once. Then you're buying merch.
Space Cowboys.
Then you're getting a fucking body pillow at a convention. Then you're reading pirated mangas on the internet because you don't want to wait for the next episode come out, so you just read the fucking book it's based off of. Then you're cosplaying. Then you're jerking off to some weird shit. Then you're isolating yourself from the conventional means of a civilized society, and you lose your way. I miss Connor so much, and he's gone. In the throes of anime addiction, I've lost one of my best friends. I'm gonna play the finals with him tonight probably, but it's not gonna be him. It's gonna be
finals. Fuck that game. Fuck the finals.
Shell of what anime has left for me. A fucking weeb.
Fucking weebs.
And for that reason, and all the other reasons I've given in this video, I'm out on anime. It's not worth it. Who knows? One day I might get over my childish fear of being bullied for enjoying an anime show. Maybe I'll sit down with a bucket of popcorn, turn on a slice of life anime like Shiko Noko 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 Kosh Ton Ton, and enjoy myself. That is until one of the Japanese anime schoolgirls walks in wearing a bikini, and then my mom walks in the room and it fucking ruins everything once again. Like and subscribe. New videos every Wednesday and Saturday. Hey, Attack on Titan people, thank you for stretching out that show for so
I'm not gonna comment.
long where I didn't give a fuck about the ending at that point. Fucking release everything. You ruined it. I didn't care anymore. I didn't care.
All right. WVid though.